Welcome, everybody, to the American Space Museum. I'm Marquette. We're so glad you're with us to stay curious today. Today being September 4th, 2024. As the days roll on here with my buddy Marty Winkel, we've done over 1,125 episodes of Stay Curious since the pandemic in March 2020. So thanks for coming along today. Marty chose a beautiful autumn type background there, Marty, to set the mood for. We're going to talk about our Saturday charity auction of Space Memorabilia, show you a few of the lots that are up there. You can register now and bid on things. We'll talk about that. And we got a couple current events that we're going to hit here on this beautiful Wednesday in middle of Florida down here. Hope it's nice wherever you're at, and hope you have clear skies. No, you're not going to see a full moon till a week from Monday, but there'll be a beautiful moon in the sky. And I asked Marty the other day, yesterday, Marty, I said, have you noticed a bright star in the west uh, in the evening twilight? And he said he did, and that is the planet Venus. And Venus is going to be dominating the western horizon from now on until about February. So the brightest planet, only the sun and moon are brighter than Venus because it's covered in clouds. We will, of course, talk about Venus on one of our backyard astronomy segments here this fall. So thank you, everybody, for joining us. Like I said, we've gotten some great numbers of people watching Stay Curious on YouTube. We are monetizing YouTube. We are making something like $100 a month now. All right, so that ain't Tim Dodd, the everyday astronaut kind of money, but we'll take it and grow from here. We got some great guests lined up for you next week, including Lee Wilson, a communicator out at Kennedy Space Center, who is quite an artist. We've got Mitch Rothman. Hi, Mitch. I know you're watching. Mitch of Manned Space will be on Tuesday. That'll be a very special day. And Wednesday, we're efforting Caroline Shoemaker of the Astronaut Scholarship Foundation. So our booking agents are working hard to get you more guests here on Stay Curious because we know you love them. And I was talking with Bob Seek today, who launched 57 shuttles, I think 51. He launched more than anybody. Bob, the launch director, and great support of our museum many years. Had lunch with Bob and a bunch of other NASA people today, and I said, Bob, would you just come on and take questions one day? Our guests seem to like that, that are watching the program. So we're going to get Bob Seek in the queue here, and just a great guy. Well, let's bid again auctions. Thank you for all the hard work from Chuck Jeffrey to put up auctions. This is auction number 34 we're talking about. And I joined the museum at about auction number 4. So I've been through over 30 auctions. And I want to say, if you haven't looked at this one, Marty, I think this is a very eclectic and very good auction. There is some gold and jewelry, some ladies' jewelry, some rings, things like that that are nothing to do with space. There's some art in there, some type of Americana type of artwork. Uh-oh, we got a battery level low on the camera, Marty. You got to plug in the camera. There.
How'd it get unplugged?
There's the knob on the bottom, and plug it in before we lose our guests out there. There you go. We did lose me, I think, on there. So sorry about that. If you hear us audio wise, Marty's going to have to reboot the camera. It actually went dead on us on the battery. So this space auction has some art that you'd call kind of Americana artwork. Thank you, Marty. And I haven't looked at all 360 lots, but it is rich in autographs of crews. Oh my God, there must be 20 crew signed lithographs there, and we'll see a few of those. So good job, Chuck. I think it's a great auction, and we need you all to go to our website. Up at the top, it says auctions. Click that. That'll take you to the link, or go to our Facebook page, and be putting links up there from now until Saturday morning. All right, and you can look for free, But if you want to make a bid and reserve your bid, we'll tell you all about that. There's a GT4 picture of Ed White taken by, um, I'm blanking out there. Jim McDivitt. All right. Senior moment. I'm entitled to a few. The late Jim McDivitt took this picture of Ed White in the middle. That should go for, really, a couple $100. A lot of original NASA photos here when they have a red letter numbered category number at the top of them. That makes them more valuable because those are sort of like VIP prints given to the VIPs at Johnson Space Center, NASA, other places like Lewis and Research Center in Cleveland. Or the media. So those are like the first off the press pictures, and we got tons of those. Park seeds. You want to have some seeds flown in space? You can pay probably, those will go for between $100 and $500. And then rare, one of a kind, Chuck mentions in the talking about that Snoopy patch, the only one known in existence of a special section of the shuttle era on there. The CSD, and I forgot my notes. We'll go over that Friday when we talk about the auction again. I forget what CSD means. If you know, shout it out there. And I did not bring my smart tablet with me, so I'll depend on Marty and the UCAC family microphone to give me that info. Marty, what do I have here? Just a little bit of space history. We want to talk some space history and September history. This is a 1968 concept of a pressure suit that was a Skylab maybe spacesuit there. And you see the details of it and so forth. A pelican hook there above there based on underwater stuff there. And I'll get you just a minute, Marty. On this date, September 4th, 1968, that is Wernher von Braun at age 56, the 6'1" tall Marshall Space Flight Center director Wernher von Braun performed a full pressure suit test on the Saturn I workshop, immersed in a neutral buoyancy tank. And this was at Marshall Space Center, I believe. It was a test for Skylab and a future space station. Von Braun had been developing spacesuit concepts since 1958, a very experienced diver, and during his test, he reported that the upgraded seals used in the aft dome penetration sealing study were very good, and he recommended additional handholds and tether points outside of Skylab. And if you're a baby boomer like me, you may have got turned on to space by watching Walter Cronkite's Wonderful World of Disney right before the Ed Sullivan Show came on every Sunday night, and saw Wernher von Braun's wonderful appearances talking about space travel. That was such a fantasy now and a reality today. So, Marty, what do we have on that UCAC family microphone?
Yeah, Mitch is saying that CSD stands for Cruise Systems Division.
Cruise Systems Division. That's it. Remember that. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. We've got the most intelligent podcast viewership of anybody, bar none. I'll put any of you out there. Well, maybe Carlton Bailey. I'd put him with Connie McDaniel together and put their brains together, and then they'd probably match a Dave Stange or a Doug Forrest out there. But no, your knowledge is incredible, and thank you for keeping me straight out there. We enjoy this immensely. Well, let's look at another thing before we look at the auction items. Oh yeah, you're not getting too far in September without Mark talking about the space shuttles of September. 11 beautiful orbiters were launched. None for Columbia or Challenger in the month, okay? Atlantis and Discovery each had 4, and Endeavor 3 missions in September, but none for Columbia, none for Challenger. And there's one other month that they're blocked out. Let's see. You had 2 launched on the 9th. Well, let's look at that. Yeah, right there, 2 launched on the 9th. What we have there, September 9th to the 20th on STS 64. The D means Discovery. And STS 115, a hard hat mission to the space station in 06. That was on the 9th also. Then you had 3 on the 12th that were launched. You got 48, 47, and 51 all launched on the 12th. Some interesting missions of some of our friends there, Marty. 68, that's got Mike Baker commanding a very intense, detailed radar mission there. And you've got 65 astronauts, 5 of them women. 2 missions went to the Mir space station. 2 were ISS hard hat missions. 5 were science payloads. And you had the Japanese Space Lab in the middle there, STS-47, that launched the first African-American woman into space, Mae Jemison. So, exciting month. I've got another, not as complicated as it looks there. On the left side is the number of the orbiters, and on the bottom is the date. So what is interesting about this is on September 12th, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 orbiters and 47 astronauts can say, I was orbiting the Earth on September 12th as they line up there. So I like this kind of detailed work to just work my mind and keep that Alzheimer's stuff at bay. Hope you enjoy it too as we share it with you. And I want to share one other thing, Marty, on a personal note about this date, September 4th, wishing my mother, Sally McKinley Marquette, a wonderful birthday. My mother is 92 years old today, and she has as sharp as a mind as she ever did. And I'm kind of tearing up a little bit thinking about you, Mom. She bought my first telescope when I was 8 years old. I saw in a science book the planets going across the book in 2nd grade in 1959, I believe. And I said, wow, I've never seen that before. And went home and said, Mom, I want Santa Claus to bring me a telescope. And I got a Sears J.C. Penney's refractor. And that started this whole avalanche of love for space, astronomy, astronauts, and anything off of this Earth that's for this Earth. So God bless you, Mom, Sally McKinley Marquette, 92 years old today. My sister Sherry's up there enjoying it with her in Findlay, Ohio. So just about 70 miles from where Neil Armstrong grew up is my hometown. His was Wapakoneta in central Ohio. I'm up there by Toledo. So thank you for letting me share that, because if it wasn't for Mom, none of us would be here, right? So God bless you, Mom. Well, let's get to the auction. Like I said, you go to our website, you can go up to the top, and I did fail to mention that we do have tickets on sale for Shuttle Fest 4, are on sale 24 hours ago. We've already sold almost 2 dozen of the $90 2-day tickets. Go to Facebook. I've got it posted there. There's also a link on our website. Easily you can go there and become part of Shuttle Fest 4, April 11th, 12th, and 13th, 2025. Now at the Hyatt Place Hotel in Titusville. If we get more people, we will move it. So, but thank you all for letting me. We'll talk about that tomorrow for sure. Well, getting to the meat of the auction here. Noon Saturday is when the gavel falls. 360 items starting with number 1, and over 250 of these items are space items. There's just a rich, eclectic collection of all kinds of things. So let's look at it here. Right off the top, you got some letters signed by Edgar Mitchell and Charlie Duke. Not sure the contents of those letters. These are the type of things that are consigned to us by you, the space geek that has bought these things, or maybe you're a space worker and you want to get rid of them. Like the item right there in the middle is a space flown NASA administrative flag. Those don't come up very often, and that should go for a couple $100 or more. You got some bookmarks flown on one of the shuttle missions there. I'm not going to try to itemize every item that you see here. This is to give you a flavor of it, so you can go yourself. But there's a mission control sheet signed by 5 flight directors, okay? And I'd say they're all the biggies, from Gene Kranz to Hollingsworth and let's see, I'm thinking of Gary's, whatever's on there. Marty's trying to look there for me. These are the type of items that are consigned to us by somebody else, maybe that got these. Should easily go for $150, $300, something like that. And you see on the bottom, to give you an example, 3 people have registered and made bids. All right. And if I say I'm going to go up to $200 for this, all right, and I registered, I'll go up to $200 as my max. Well, if right now, if I'm the willing to go 200 and everybody else is only willing to go 50, all right, then I'm getting it for 70. Maybe there's another person willing to go 60. So now the bid is up to $80 to get it. So you get it for what the lowest price that bid goes. If you put 200 in and the highest bid is 100, you'll get it for 120 or whatever the next increment is on that. So plus shipping, and Chuck Jeffrey at Bid Again Auctions has things, all that legalese detail on there for you. And anyone has any questions, Marty, or anything, please chime in on that. There's a wealth of NASA photographs, particularly those from the lunar orbiters. That there was 4 lunar orbiters that were uncrewed that orbited the moon to basically get the geology, landscape, and make maps for the Apollo landing sites. So you see some of those there. Some are larger, quite dramatic. That Apollo 16 one there. Then you got a lot of construction photos or engineering photos of Saturn rockets, the Saturn 1B there, for example, in 2 lots. Very rarely does the photo on the right come up for grabs. That is the historic shot of Buzz Aldrin, shot by Neil Armstrong. We call it the visor shot. Why? Because in the visor is Neil Armstrong taking the photo in the lunar module so beautifully. So that could go for $2,000 to $5,000. Now 2 bids at $60. So that will keep, somebody may have said, I'll go $1,000, but all that's necessary to get it right now is $60. So you put in the highest bid that you go. Then when you're watching live, you can change that bid and go back up. Chuck Jeffrey, our collection analyst and auctioneer, is very good friends, like a lot of us are, with Mr. Fred Hayes of Apollo 13. And then, worked on the shuttle as the Apollo landing test project in 1977. He signs a lot of things, and this is 2 items that he has for sale there that we have. That now, how much money does the American Space Museum get of this? We get a percentage of the sale based on whether it's consigned or not. If we have one of our objects in there, like, I don't think that's our visor shot, but if it is, we get all the money for it that's spent, okay? Chuck is very generous with us on that and doesn't take his cut, but for his business. And it's basically an 80-20 split between the consignor and the auction house. And so we'll, as a nonprofit, we get a part of that because Chuck has been a major part of fundraiser for us. There's some good examples of some lunar photos that you can buy that are real, authentic, red numbered photographs. That's what I said. The number or the letters let you know that the picture is authentic from the NASA archives. Now, I'm going to point out something here, Marty. Item number 69, the Apollo 11 Earthrise, NASA red numbered, all right? I'll bet somebody's looking at that and going, wait a minute, 1969 was Apollo 11, and is that the worm logo there, Marty? Yes, it is on that. And you know when NASA started using the worm logo? Of course you do, Marty. 1975. So this is not a forgery. This was a reprint that NASA did in after 1975 at one of the anniversaries of Apollo 11 to celebrate it, and they've got the worm logo on there. So I've learned to look for these little details, Marty, just like you have on some things, and that's important when you're collecting things, is for the provenance, the authenticity. So no, it's not a forgery with the NASA logo. 6 years later, it is a reprint of maybe the 20th anniversary, or something like that. So, but then you got some surface photos there of Apollo 12, and there's a lunar rover on Apollo 15. There some could be a little faded, but they're still the original photographic piece of paper that, and larger, in Johnson Space Center or Kennedy Space Center, projected down onto a piece of photographic paper, and then it had to go through chemicals to get uh, uh, developed. And then there we have Apollo 17. That would be Ron Evans making his deep space walk, the third one. Of course, Ken Mattingly on Apollo 16 before him, and pioneering the lunar spacewalk was Al Worden on 15. So that's a very cool picture of that activity going on there, of Ron Evans. And now get this, there's maybe 20 lithographs that are all crew signed from the shuttle era. And what we have here is 90, 93, 96, 97. Chuck's got them in chronological order there. These could be had at some pretty good prices, and a lot of people will start a collection and want to get all crew signed 135 shuttle missions, all right? Of course, your 51L Challenger is going to be very expensive because we lost that crew, as well as 107 Columbia is going to be very expensive. But these were, among the astronaut community, kind of an insurance policy that the families could sell these to recoup money, because it was hard to get insurance, life insurance on astronauts, and you can figure out why. Basically, we go $25 an astronaut autograph and $100 if it's all crew signed, depending on the crew. And down here, you've got some other cool ones. 103 is the full crew of a Hubble repair mission there. But down in the middle, there's a 107 crew right there. And Chuck, I think, has got, I'm going to make that smaller, Marty. He got $1,000 to $3,000, I believe, that would be worth on there. So I can't see oh, there you are, buddy. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, current bid is $1,500. And that could go for $5,000 to $8,000 is the minimum Chuck thinks it should go for, is $5,000. All 7 of those beautiful friends of yours out there, maybe, and I know someone is in the building today that is a friend of one of those astronauts. And it hurts all the time when they think about it and see it, though. It is now 21 years later since that tragedy happened. So thank you, Marty, for doing that. But there's a valuable thing there that will forever increase in value. So a lot of astronaut autographs individually too. There we got some winners there. Jim McDivitt, a couple signed things there. He passed away, lived into his early 90s. Gene Kranz autographed Apollo 13, safe return. $100 to $500 that could go for. The bidding's up to $60. All right. Starting bids are always $50. We're not going to give stuff away. There's Uncle Al Worden, big fan of the space geeks that adored him. I met him twice, and once at a kind of an informal setting, and got to talk to him. All of the space people that went to Space Fest in Tucson and other events always loved the personality of Al Worden. He was very honest and forthright. Scott Carpenter, there you got a Mercury astronaut there. So if you got some extra bucks laying around there, I invest in these because the Mercury astronauts may go really cheap, and they're just going to increase in value to the right people decades down the road. Folks, this is like getting Ulysses S. Grant autograph, or Robert E. Lee, or any of the war heroes of the World War II generation and so forth. They're scarce, they're hard to find, and Chuck Jeffrey does a great job getting these auctions together. He has consigners begging, knocking his door down. I believe he's got the next 3 auctions already mostly racked up there. So let's see, what other ones are we going to look at here? A couple more. Chuck, this is just not a space auction. There's a lot of cool coins on there. I never thought about the auction that someone would auction unsearched wheat pennies. Okay, 7 rolls of them there. And you know, Marty, you ever see a wheat penny in your change and you say, "Oh my gosh, I got to keep that." How many are left? A lot. there's millions out there probably. There's a whole pile of them right there. So I used to think that when I had a silver dime, one of those mercury dimes. Oh boy, there can't, those are maybe several thousand left in the world. No. I went to a jeweler that specialized in numismatism, which numismatics, I think, is the name for coins, and they had cottage cheese containers full of these dimes, and an employee sorting them out, all mercury dimes. So that Gus Grissom took to space with him, right, Marty? You were going to say something on that UCAC family microphone.
Well, I was just going to say, when's the last time you got change?
The next time I got what?
When's the last time you got change? Most people use credit cards.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah, right. Yeah. I got a little hearing loss here, so Marty's got to turn around and talk to me sometimes. I'm gonna get one of those horns. Why don't you buy me a horn for Christmas, Marty? He gives the best Christmas presents. I'm gonna tell you right now. Anyway, such as being old and old age, and my mom's 92, and she don't need any hearing aids, but her son does. Some very interesting coins on there. There's a couple Robins. I don't think there's a Robins coin or two that was space flown. We'll talk Friday about more of the details of this I'm not showing today. There's the coins I was showing you. There are a collector coin series out there of space programs that different houses of different knickknacks, for better word, do things. You get some of that in the mail. How about an STS-1 space shuttle mission collection? A little bit of everything there, okay? From the launch, some mementos, postal covers, good $150, $200 worth of stuff there. Space shuttle mission collector coins up there in the upper left. Then you've got, again, have different groups of people and houses for coins, businesses for coins that make it. I'm thinking of Bradford Exchange, Marty, is that one? Bradford Exchange, help me there. I'm thinking of some of these houses that I bought a Cleveland Browns stadium from one of them, Heritage House or something. Project, a space program. I love these collections with all of the logos of all the missions right there for you. Nobody's bid on that. Go bid $100 on that and see if anybody outbids you. You won't regret it. And I'd go up to, it might be worth $500 to you out there. And then there's another coin thing of Lincoln cents and Roosevelt dimes there. So Chuck's also got some artwork on there that I'm going to show on Friday. He's got Woody Spring has some artwork in there, and Woody's birthday was yesterday. And Woody's got some shuttle artwork that he made on there. So, and let's see, the final slide I'll show here is, again, more photographs, some Kodachrome or transparencies, we call them. You will find a lot of badges from space workers for various missions. There's an Apollo Saturn badge. These are very valuable. They're worth at least $100. You'll never see one again. And a very rare Fly NASA Apollo red numbered photograph. This was a promotion that they would send out to the newspapers and magazines and hope that they would publish this. It says, what does it say underneath at the bottom, Marty?
Which one are you looking at?
The middle slide at the bottom of that little
It just
curve.
says vintage NASA numbered view of the Earth.
No, number 317.
Oh, very.
There's some
Very-
Fly NASA, and why does it say Fly NASA?
It says very rare Fly NASA Apollo red numbered photograph.
Right. And I'm going to grab the. It says, we always get you there and back. All right. We always get you there and back. All right. I got that figured out. So, yes, they do. And there again is an Apollo 8 numbered view of the moon photograph. So I'm going to say that's from 1968 because there's no worm logo on it, thank God. And that's the if you're looking at the full moon, that's the right hand side of the full moon there. There's our full moon right there, and you're looking at the right hand side of it, and you see in the upper right hand corner is a little oval. Well, that's what that oval on the left of that center of that is. So we've gone through a few of the lots there. Go to our website or go to our Facebook page, download it. You can look for free. You do not have to register your credit card, but you do if you want to make bids on it. And, get in the game. Own a little bit of swag from the Space Age program there. If you own some swag, there's how to get a hold of Chuck to get rid of it. He will, if you've got a suspected Neil Armstrong autograph, for example, or you think you've got a John Glenn or another astronaut's autograph, take a nice photo of it, send it to Chuck at chuck@americanSpaceMuseum.org, and he'll tell you if it's real or not. And he can quickly discern whether it is a forgery or a auto pen or something like that. And then but he'll give you a heads up that it could be real, or it's definitely auto pen or a forgery. And the industry was plagued with that back 20 years ago. Even somebody forging patches. So you got to watch out what you get there. So thank you all for watching today. Dave Stange up in Michigan, Mitchell. Looking forward to Man Space and Mitch being on the show Tuesday. So you all be able to put a face on him. Marty, by the way, make a note that we need to do another Google Meets with some of our viewers again. We got away from that when our intern Logan Cope got committed to something else, but also we've been in La La Land with the death of our executive director Karen. So and everything's going well. We're getting back on the beam and doing some things to honor her down the road. Dean Babcock's watching. I know Dean's getting that credit card out to get registered. Dean. Steve Jokums, great friend up there in Illinois. Bill Whiting, we miss you, Bill, don't we, Marty? And your friend called yesterday. I had his name wrote down and I did. But anyway, Bill, thank you for following us. Gary Gerald's up in Collins, Georgia. Been getting those Vidalia onions set for next season, maybe. Tom Celentano, always good to see Tom watching. He is a Notre Dame fan, so he'll be rooting for the Fighting Irish during this football season, Tom. And Doug Forrest is in Los Angeles. Doug's a great supporter of the museum and a fabulous artist. Chris Callie's watching. Hello to you. I think Hazel Banks is watching. Hi, Hayes. And Tommy and Mark Usiak watching. Robert Law up in Dundee, Scotland. And Ace Boogie Stacks is watching. And Tom Colbert. Tom Colbert, I believe, is in the United Kingdom. Ireland, okay. He's up there along with Robert Law enjoying their evening cocktail on a Wednesday night. And go out and look at that crescent moon that's out there, guys, on this.
Cliff Watson.
Cliff
Watson.
And hello, waking up to his brekkie in Australia, Cliff Watson. All right, buddy. Make mine eggs and a little bit of kangaroo meat on the side, okay, buddy? So thank you all for watching, and thank you for having fun with our show here. I know you're telling some of your friends to go to it. Mitch, we're excited to have Mitch on because he is the same kindred spirit we are, Marty. He loves celebrating the Mercury, Gemini, and Apollo programs Like we hardly ever miss a beat with those missions. And then, of course, we love taking it the next level to our shuttle era that is so important to what has changed our modern world today. So thank you, everybody. Tomorrow we'll do it again. Until next time, I'm Mark Marquette on behalf of Marty saying we can't wait to see you in our museum to bridge the space between us.